Now, how can a Christian quickly know that the foundational teachings of Freemasonry are false and that they go completely against the teachings and beliefs of Jesus Christ and the Bible? Well, it's pretty easy, actually. Simply consider the facts. Freemasonry requires its members to believe in the existence of a supreme being and also to believe that there is only one God. Freemasonry refers to its God as the grand architect of the universe, or great architect of the universe, whichever. It teaches that all men of all various religions worship the one God, simply using a variety of different names. It is on that basis that Masons may be Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists, or men who profess to follow Jesus. Freemasonry requires a belief in the existence of a supreme being, but does not define that being. The Holy Bible, however, reveals that the truth is somewhat different. The Bible does state that there is only one God. Isaiah 45:5. I am the Lord, and there is no other apart from me, there is no God. However, it states that those who practice pagan religions worship idols and demons rather than the God of the Bible. Psalm 96:5 reveals that the gods of the many nations which surrounded Israel were idols. Those people who did not worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Paul warned the Christians at Corinth not to participate in pagan worship. He revealed that pagans worship demons rather than God. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 19 and 20 says, Do I mean when they sacrifice offered to an idol is anything, or that an idol is anything? No, but the sacrifices of pagans are offered to demons, not to God, and I do not want you to be participants with demons. The Bible clearly reveals in Luke 4:33 that demons are spirits. In the synagogue, there was a man possessed by a demon, an evil spirit. Hinduism, Buddhism, Wicca, and other modern-day pagan religions worship demons rather than the God of the Bible. We can know this because anyone who rejects Jesus Christ rejects God. 2 John 9 says, Anyone who runs ahead and does not continue in the teachings of Christ does not have God. Whoever continues in the teachings has both the Father and the Son. With these facts clearly documented from the Holy Bible, it is easy to know that the foundational teachings of Freemasonry, namely that all men worship God, is not true. Since Freemasonry does not follow in the teachings of Christ, the God of Freemasonry cannot be the God of the Bible. Since God is a spirit, a question you might ask of a worshipful master or other Mason is the following. Is Vishnu, the God of which Hindus worship, the same spirit which you refer to as the great architect of the universe? It is a simple question. The answer is either yes or no. If the Mason answers yes, then you will know that he does not know the difference between the God of the Bible and a demon. He does not know God. How can he be a Christian? If he says no, then obviously you have demonstrated to him that all men do not worship the same God, simply using a variety of different names. When Freemasonry accepts the God of a Hindu as a supreme being, it declares that demons are supreme beings. How can he be sure that the spirit he worships in lodge as the G-A-O-T-U, the God-to, is not a demon? Does Freemasonry lift up Jesus Christ as the only way to salvation, as is documented in John 14:6? Clearly, Freemasonry does not follow in the teachings of Christ, therefore Freemasons do not have God. 2 John chapter 9. Freemasonry is a pagan religion. Paul warned that it is not possible for a man to participate in paganism and also be a Christian. He wrote in 1 Corinthians 10:21, You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons too. You cannot have a part in both the Lord's table and the table of demons. In John 4:24, Jesus told us God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. If a man has brought into the Masonic lie that all men worship the same God, simply using a variety of different names, then he cannot be worshiping in truth. Therefore, he cannot be worshiping God when he goes into the lodge. End of story.